Real Madrid, Los Blancos. They definitely haven't had the season to remember. They haven't really shown up for the 2018-19 season, to be fair, from sacking their new manager Julian Lopetegui, crashing out of the Champions League round of 16 to Ajax, taking 12 L's in La Liga, selling their main man and Galactico Cristiano Ronaldo in the transfer window. Despite finishing third in the league, to Real standards, that is nowhere near good enough, and owner Florentino Perez is looking to rebuild for life after Ronaldo. With strong ongoing links connecting the Belgian winger Eden Hazard to a possible move to Madrid. I mean, by the time this video is out, it's probably already happened, to be fair. But it got me thinking, why not start a Belgian revolution at the Bernabeu? Let's bring the Belgians to Real with current national team manager Roberto Martinez in a Real Madrid Belgium rebuild challenge. So here are the goals and objectives for Roberto Martinez. Number 1, the starting 11 must all be Belgian players. Number 2, we must sell all non-Belgian players at the club. Number 3, in terms of silverware, we need to win La Liga, a domestic cup competition, and the Champions League final, which we will go ahead and play. Number 4 is that we have a 5-season time limit to complete this challenge with Real Madrid and Roberto Martinez. And number 5 is to make Eden Hazard the new marquee player for Real Madrid, the star for Los Blancos, and lead them on to European glory. Let's get into season number 1. So here we are, starting off the Real Madrid Belgium rebuild. A lot of you were requesting for a Belgian rebuild on the channel, so today that's exactly what we're doing. This is the current situation at Real Madrid. They only have one of the specified players, and that is going to be Courtois in goal. Pretty much the best position we could have had it in or need it in. We don't really need to worry about the goalkeeping spot, but the rest need to be sold and replaced with some young Belgian talent and some experience in there as well, as Courtois is our only Belgian repping for Real Madrid. But if you go ahead and enjoy the rebuild, make sure to slap a like on the video, subscribe down below if you want some more FIFA 19 and FIFA 20 career mode content. Follow me on Twitter, the link is in the description. Turn on post notifications so you never miss out on a video. Comment down below if you have any suggestions for another rebuild challenge, and let's get straight into the transfer business. We all know that season number 1 is the most hectic, so let's start it off. Oh yeah, that's right, every single player will be transfer listed besides Courtois, just to ensure they get sold, as that is one of the main objectives in the rebuild challenge. So there's going to be a lot of departures and a lot of arrivals in season number 1. Considering we have £265 million in the transfer budget, straight from the get-go, we're going to be getting some youth academy talent into the side. Theo Hernandez is going to find us some fine Belgian talent, and hopefully they can make their way into the club. He's going to be out scouting for some young youth talent, so we'll keep you updated with any developments going on with the youth scout. So we're starting off the rebuild with our first player arrival, and it is going to be a signing that Real Madrid have done in real life. Eden Hazard, the Belgian from Chelsea, he is coming to Madrid, and it literally just got confirmed a few days ago. Eden Hazard is a Galactico. He's going to be part of the Los Blancos, and Eden Hazard will definitely be our main man throughout this rebuild challenge, as we picked him up for £80.3 million plus Gareth Bale. So the Welshman is off to the Premier League. He's moving to Chelsea. The 27-year-old now, 91 overall. He is going to be our Ronaldo of this Belgium rebuild challenge. Welcome to the Santiago Bernabeu. And it's going to be Martinez's second signing of the window. Another big transfer coming from the Premier League. It's going to be Tottenham's own Toby Alderweireld, the Belgian centre-back, is going to be leading the defensive line at the back for us. For £46.8 million, the 29-year-old now is coming to Real Madrid, 87 overall. Just a solid defender to have in our team, and he'll definitely be slotting straight into that starting position. Welcome to Real Madrid, Toby Alderweireld. So after those two big signings, we're going to have a few player departures here. The Brazilian central defensive midfielder Casemiro is off to Chelsea for £63.7 million as well, as Vallejo, the Spanish centre-back, 21 years of age, off to Olympic Lyon for 10.3, and then this random youth player out on loan to Standard Liège. So another decently sized player departure here. The Spanish winger Lucas Vazquez is off to join Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. He's going to the Premier League for £35.1 £32.1 million. A 27-year-old headed out of Madrid. So our third signing of the season, we got Eden. We have to get his other brother, Thorgan Hazard from Borussia Mönchengladbach. He is joining us here in La Liga for the Belgian Rebuild Challenge. The 25-year-old winger is coming to us for £30.3 million, 82 overall, right winger. And it's good to get some brotherly love into this Belgium side here at Real Madrid. Thorgan Hazard and Eden Hazard both joining us in season number 1. Now here we have another centre-back signing, but this one's more for the experience of the side. We're bringing in Man City captain Vincent Kompany for £15.5 million. The now 32-year-old defender is going to bring the side a lot of experience and is going to guide the team to glory. Obviously a very short-term signing, but one that is needed just for the guidance of the younger players to bring some wisdom to this Belgian side. So welcome to Real Madrid, Vincent Kompany. So a bit of an interesting player departure here. Sergio Ramos, the Spanish centre-back, now 32 years of age, is off to Juventus for £60.9 million. He is joining Ronaldo in Serie A. What a transfer that is. Juventus getting a big deal there. But we say farewell to our former club captain. So former Evertonian is going to be linking up with his former boss, Roberto Martinez. It's going to be Romelu Lukaku coming from Manchester United. The big Belgian talisman, the 25-year-old, now 86 overall, is going to join us here for the rebuild. And he is going to be the big target man for us, the man leading the line. And he's becoming a Galactico. And we picked Lukaku up for £52.1 million, plus the Frenchman Karim Benzema. He is headed to Manchester United. Welcome, Melu Lukaku. So we're picking up yet another experienced centre-back here in Jan Vertonghen. It was Toby Alderweireld's defensive partner at Tottenham Hotspur. He is joining us here at Real Madrid for £38.9 million. And now 31-year-old is 87 overall, and we'll have some great chemistry with Toby Alderweireld. Hopefully they can form yet another decent defensive partnership here and perform well on the pitch. So it's a wing-back pickup here. A player arrival coming from PSG. Thomas Meunier, the Belgian right-back, is joining us here at Real Madrid for £26 million. One of our cheapest signings so far, but a big one because he, 82 overall, only 26 years of age as well. And he is going to be our starting right-back for season number 1. Welcome to the Santiago Bernabeu, Thomas Meunier. And a player departure here is going to be Marcos Llorente, the young central defensive midfielder. The Spaniard is off to Manchester City, just like Vazquez, for £17.2 million. So yet another massive signing here. Kevin De Bruyne, one of Belgium's most talented players, alongside Eden Hazard, joining us here at Real Madrid. The man from Manchester City is coming to La Liga. Roberto Martinez has picked up a key midfielder here, and it's not going to be a cheap fee for Kevin De Bruyne joining us here. £100 million plus the German midfielder Toni Kroos. He is off to Man City, but KDB going to be definitely getting a starting position. He is going to be that man in the midfield. So we found our man who's just going to play right behind Romelu Lukaku in the centre forward role. It's going to be Dries Mertens, the now 31-year-old coming from Napoli. He's moving from Serie A to La Liga. The agile little Belgian attacker is joining Roberto Martinez's Belgian Revolution. And we purchased him for pretty much £31 million plus Mariano. And our Spanish left-back Sergio Reguilon is off to Besiktas for £11 million. The 21-year-old now is a bright upcoming prospect, but because of this challenge, we had to sell him. He is off to the Turkish league. And another player departure here, it is going to be Daniel Carvajal, off to Napoli. He is joining Carlo Ancelotti over there in Serie A for £52.4 million. A player departure that we needed in order to pick up a few more players before the summer transfer window shut. So farewell Carvajal. So it's going to be a deadline day signing here. We have the Hazard bromance brothers. We got to have another set of brotherly love. This time it is going to be Jordan Lukaku linking up with his brother Romelu Lukaku. We picked the left back up from Lazio for his market valuation in £10 million. He is joining us here. The 24-year-old is coming to the Belgian Revolution. He is going to be our starting left back. As the saying goes, 2 sets of brothers are better than 1. So it's going to be our second deadline day signing here, and it's a bit of an interesting one. Yuri Telemon. I got to work on that pronunciation, but he is joining us for £4.5 million. He got recently added into FIFA 19 career mode only a few months ago. The young 17 19-year-old Belgian is only 71 overall, but has a massive 87 potentials. Hopefully we can see him grow to that over the course of these few seasons here at the Belgian Revolution. Roberto Martinez picks him up from Anderlecht, so hopefully the young Belgian can prosper here at Real Madrid. So it's a big deadline day departure here. Our Spanish centre-back Nacho Fernandez is going to be joining Manchester United. He is going to Old Trafford for £27.5 million, joining Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, so it's just a bit more money to add to the transfer budget. So that is going to conclude all our summer transfer market business. We ended up spending £435.45 million, and we ended up selling £277.9 million worth of players. So a massive transfer window there for Roberto Martinez and the Belgian Revolution. We're going to save some of our money for January and season number 2. But let's hope the boys can pull it off in the first half of season number 1. So this is the side going into the first half of season number 1. Alderweireld is currently injured, so Vertonghen is in there to replace him. But we're going with the 4-3-2-1 formation. The Hazard brothers on the wings, Lukaku up top, Mertens right behind them, De Bruyne and Verschuren in the midfield, and then that back four with Courtois in between the posts. Let's see how they perform. So in this rebuild, I'm going to be doing a bit of training here with the Belgian youth talents that we have in our side, some hot prospects in our team, and here they are. It's going to be 2 players. We got Verschuren doing 3 training drills here, and then a youth academy prospect with big potential, Van den Broek, the left winger, 61 rated. We are going to be simulating these training drills when we get the opportunity to, and hopefully they can grow throughout the rebuild. But as always, we'll keep you updated on this as well. So we're halfway through season number 1, and Roberto Martinez is doing alright with the Belgian Revolution. We are 3 points behind first place. In third, Atletico Madrid in second, Valencia, Real Betis and Barcelona make up the top 6, but it's going to be a very close race to see who finishes in those top 4 positions. We're still in the Coppa de España with a round of 16 game up against Real Betis, and in the Champions League we finished top of the group there with 15 points, 5 wins and 1 loss. Roma make it out, and in the round of 16 we're coming up against Napoli. So we're kicking off January with a massive player departure here. Raphael Varane is headed to the Premier League. The French World Cup winning centre back is off to Spurs. He's moved to North London for £80.8 million, and we've done a bit of a double deal here because we've also sold Dani Ceballos for £40 million. He is off to Fenerbahce, so a good £120 million there to add to the transfer budget. So this is how the Belgian Youth Academy is doing halfway through season 1, and we've actually gotten a few really decent players. Jules Van den Broek is looking very decent here, the 17-year-old left winger. We're going to promote him to the senior team, as well as Van der Velde, the right winger as well. Another right back, Luca Janssens, the 18-year-old, looking very decent, potential 84 to 94, so we're going to promote him as well, and we're going to leave these 2 in here just for a bit longer. We've got some really decent youth academy prospects to look forward to in this rebuild. And it's yet another player departure here in January. Federico Valverde, the Uruguayan central midfielder, is headed off to the Premier League. He is going to Everton for £16.2 million, a 20-year-old decent youth prospect for Real Madrid, but the Uruguayan is headed off to Roberto Martinez's former side. So we make our first deal of the January transfer window. It is going to be Yannick Carrasco coming from the Chinese Super League. The Belgian left midfielder is coming back to La Liga, former Atletico Madrid player, now at Real Madrid. A bit controversial here, but we picked him up for £41.5 million. He's going to come over from Dalian Yifang. So Yannick Carrasco, welcome back to Europe. Welcome to the Belgian Revolution. And we complete back-to-back signings here, picking up the man from Real Sociedad, Adnan Januzaj, the former Manchester United wonder kid, the man that set the world alight at Old Trafford under David Moyes. How times have changed, but he is coming over from Real Sociedad. And we picked up the former wonder kid for £4.5 million, plus Odriozola, the Spanish right back, so he's going back to his former side. Welcome to Real Madrid, Adnan Januzaj. So the massive January departures just keep on coming here at Real Madrid. Marco Asensio is off to Chelsea. He's making the switch to Stamford Bridge for a whopping £73.5 million. The young Spanish midfielder, now 22, 85 overall, is joining Maurizio Sarri in London. Farewell, Marco Asensio. And another one of our massive Spanish midfielders midfielders is headed to the Premier League. This time, it is Isco Disco headed to Manchester City, joining up with Pep Guardiola for £95.9 million. Big money being made here for Roberto Martinez. He is leaving Real Madrid. We are getting some more money in the transfer budget for the Belgian Revolution. So farewell, Isco. We're on to bigger and better things. So it's another major player departure here with our backup goalkeeper, Keylor Navas, the 32-year-old Costa Rican, is off to the Premier League. Watford have picked him up for £29.5 million. 2014 World Cup hero is finally departing the club. So in reality, we've picked up a third choice goalkeeper here. It is going to be Mile Sevilla, the young Belgian prospect that came onto the scene a few years ago. We picked him up for £2.9 million. He's now 19 years of age. In reality, he's a third choice keeper because no other Belgian keeper was available to pick up at this time of the window. 70 rated, 19 years of age. He's probably not going to get that much game time, but it's always good to have a young and upcoming keeper. And a Real Madrid staple at left back for the past decade, Marcelo, finally departing the club here. He's off to Manchester City. Yet another man off to play for Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's picked him up for £48 million, and this January window is really shaping out to be one of the biggest departure windows we've ever done. Yet another sale there. Farewell, Marcelo. And another huge player departure here. He's been at Real Madrid for a while. Luka Modric, the Croatian, is headed back to the Premier League. He is off to Manchester United, formerly of Spurs, but the 33-year-old Croatian goes to Manchester United for £50.5 million. It's yet another major departure. So towards the end of the January transfer window, we've gone ahead and picked up a pre-contract signing. It is going to be Liverpool's Champions League hero Divock Origi, the Belgian 23-year-old striker, is coming from Merseyside. He's joining Roberto Martinez here at the Belgian Revolution. 78 overall. Going to join us next summer when the window opens. Welcome, Divock Origi. So that is going to conclude our January transfer business for season number 1, and it was a big window for player departures. £313.6 million coming into the club. Meanwhile, we picked up £48.9 million worth of players: Carrasco, Januzaj, Sevilla, and Origi on a pre-contract. Meanwhile, we got rid of a lot of non-Belgian players here at Real Madrid to continue the Belgian Revolution. But let's see how Roberto Martinez's team do in the second half of season number 1. So we've reached the end of season number 1 with the Belgium Revolution here, and Roberto Martinez has done the job in his first season in charge at Real Madrid, securing the La Liga title here with 80 points, 2 points ahead of crosstown rivals Atletico Madrid with 78, Barcelona sitting with 70, and Villarreal take out the top 4 with 66 points. But what a victory for the boys. That's one piece of major silverware they've ticked off the list, and what a great debut season they have had. We're going to scroll down to see who got relegated, and it was Huesca, Leganes, and Real Sociedad all going down. And in addition to our La Liga victory, we have a Coppa Del Rey Final up against Atletico Madrid, our crosstown rivals, and they also came second in La Liga, so it's first versus second in a massive Spanish Cup final, which we will definitely simulate and show you guys a result. Hopefully, Roberto Martinez can do the job there. It was a bit of a different story in the Champions League, though, as we got knocked out in the round of 16, 3-2 on aggregate to Napoli. Carlo Ancelotti's men dispatched of us, so we've got a lot of work to do in the Champions League for next season. Some of our best performers in the side were Kevin De Bruyne in there with 14 goals and 12 assists. Romelu Lukaku picked up 21 goals and 3 assists. Meanwhile, Courtois got 19 clean sheets. Eden Hazard with 19 goals, 7 assists for him. Dries Mertens also getting in amongst the acts with 13 goals and 5 assists. So unfortunately, Thorgan Hazard and Thomas Meunier are going to be injured for this Spanish Cup final, so it's going to be Carrasco and our youth academy prospect Janssens at right back. Nevertheless, Spanish Cup final time. Let's go into it, simulate it, hopefully get the victory. Simulate this one. Can the boys do it? We are one trophy away from completing the domestic double. Let's go ahead and skip it. 2-1 victory. Mr. Eden Hazard, newly signed for Real Madrid in real life, gets a brace in the final. Griezmann with an 89th minute equaliser, but Eden Hazard with no mistakes there. 2-1, Roberto Martinez and the Belgians get the job done. And would you just take a look at that beautiful trophy? Kevin De Bruyne and Martinez loving it at the moment. So that is going to end off season number 1 with the Belgium Rebuild Challenge. We have got a bit of a way to go, but the domestic double is a very good season for Roberto Martinez and the boys. We're gonna go into season number 2. Let's get straight into it. So here we are in our second season here at Real Madrid. Roberto Martinez has £500 million to spend this transfer window, so we're gonna bring in a lot of Belgian talent into the side to strengthen up this squad and hopefully be a competing side in Europe with the Belgian boys. Is going to truly take over, as this season we're going to bring in even more players. That is the team we're looking at so far, but of course a lot of new faces are going to come in. Our youth academy is looking pretty promising as well. This Dupont guy, the Dupont brothers, are looking pretty promising here. We're probably just going to sign Nathan Dupont up to the first team. He's already worth $1,065,000 overall. Then we have these guys in the youth academy. But for the second season running, Mateo Fuentes, our 5-star Spanish scout, is out getting some young youth academy talent from Belgium. Hopefully he can find us some gems this season. So here are the players we have training in season number 2. Van den Bronek, Van der Velde, Dupont, and Verscheren are back at it in season number 2 training. We're going to be training them up this season, seeing how far they develop and grow along with the side. So enough administration, let's get straight into the summer transfer business. So to start off season number 2, we have an awesome Belgian midfield signing, a signing which we desperately needed. We needed a big presence in the midfield, and this season there was only one man to fill that void. It is Raja Nainggolan from Inter Milan. He recently joined them in the summer transfer window last season, so we couldn't pick him up. Ex-Roma midfielder is coming to us for £35.6 million, and our 31-year-old is going to improve our team a lot, even though he's on the wrong side of 30. But Il Ninja, as the Italians like to call him, is going to be joining the Belgian Revolution, even though he's retired from the national team in real life. Welcome to Real Madrid, Raja Nainggolan. And our second signing of the season is finally here. It is going to be Jason Denayer, a backup centre-back we picked up for £18.5 million. He joins us from Olympic Lyon. The 24-year-old centre-back, 80 overall. He's just going to be a backup. Welcome to the side, Jason Denayer. I have no idea how to say your name. And we pick up yet another great squad rotation / squad utility player. It is going to be Leander Dendoncker, the man who was on loan at Wolves, owned by Anderlecht. He is going to be joining us, the 24-year-old, for £19.5 million. Central defensive midfielder, is versatile. He can play at the back, he can play in the middle of the park. So the 80 rated player is going to give us a bit of flexibility this season. We can't stop, we won't stop. We finally picked up a backup goalkeeper for Thibaut Courtois. It is going to be Castells. The man is coming from Roma for £32.5 million. We needed a backup keeper. We finally got him. And he's a pretty decent one at that. 27 years of age, 84 overall. Very solid. From Cohen Castells. Welcome to Real Madrid, son. And the signings are coming in at a rapid succession here. Don't get confused. It's not Marouane Fellaini with that afro. It is going to be Axel Witsel from Borussia Dortmund joining us here for £36.1 million. 85 overall. 30 years of age now. A center defensive midfielder that is going to shore up the midfield, no doubts about that. He's a great player to have in the side. Has been a great Belgian player for so long, and he's finally going to be joining the Belgian Revolution. So it's yet another central midfield pickup here. A FIFA career mode legend. A FIFA career mode wonder kid from about FIFA 15. It is going to be Monaco's man, Yuri Telemon, finally joining us here. We couldn't pick him up in season number 1 because he was out on loan. But the 22-year-old now comes to us for £36.9 million. 81 overall, 22 years of age. Yuri Telemon, like the golden boy of Belgian football at the moment. Had a standout season at Leicester, and he's only going to get better. Yuri Telemon, welcome to the Belgian Revolution. So after all those midfield signings, we finally bolster our attack here with another man that was out on loan in a Premier League club, Michy Batshuayi. He went to Crystal Palace out on loan this season, but now he's joining us here at Real Madrid. Roberto Martinez has picked him up. The 25-year-old, now 81 overall, will definitely be a great rotational player in that attack. A great utility player to have, Michy Batshuayi, the Twitter king. Welcome to Real Madrid. And we've gone ahead and picked up yet another wonder kid here. It is going to be Zeno van Heusden, the young centre-back with a massive potential on FIFA 19 career mode. He's got like 87 potential on the game, 19 years of age, 75 overall. We picked him up for £10 million. under his valuation, which is a very good pickup. He is definitely going to get a bit of game time in this Belgian rebuild challenge. And finally, after so many Belgian transfers in a row, it finally had to come. There had to be a player departure, and that is going to be Theo Hernandez. He was out on loan last season to Real Sociedad, I believe, but we are now selling him to AC Milan. Italian giants are going to pick him up for £13 million. A 21-year-old fullback is headed off to the San Siro. So the young promising Ukrainian keeper Andriy Lunin is off to Manchester City for £21 million. The youngster Andriy Lunin, he is departing the club. So our young Spanish striker Borja Mayoral is off to West Ham. The youngster departs the club after being on loan last season. He comes back. The 22-year-old is off to London for £13.3 million. He used to be a decent little wonder kid in FIFA's gone by, but now not too much. A decent little signing there for West Ham. So it's a major player departure coming in here. James Rodriguez returning from his loan spell at Bayern Munich. The Colombian midfielder, now 28 years of age, finally off to the Premier League. He's going to Liverpool for £62.4 million, a decent little amount there, and a Real Madrid outcast that has finally been sold. So we've got the Lukaku brothers, we've got the Hazard brothers. There's only one way to fulfill this brotherly love, and it's to bring all three Hazard brothers in. We've purchased Killian Hazard, the third Hazard brother. He was playing out in Belgium. We've brought him to the Belgian Rebuild Challenge for £1.85 million. He's now 23 years of age. To be fair, he's not as great as his brothers, but Killian Hazard, we've brought him in just for the banter, just to unite all the Belgian brothers. So we bring in yet another young Belgian talent from Anderlecht into the club. For £10 million, it is going to be Alexis Saelemaekers. The young 20-year-old right back is coming over from Belgium. Decent looking wing player, can play in right mid, he can play in right back, so he's competent in both defense and attack. A little hidden gem on FIFA 19 career mode. We're bringing him to the Belgian Revolution. So it's back-to-back Anderlecht signings here. We pick up yet another one of their bright young Belgian talents. It is going to be Francis Amuzu for £8 million. Yet another hidden gem on FIFA 19 career mode, to be fair. The 19-year-old left midfielder is 73 overall. He's got over 85 potential on him. Roberto Martinez is doing the business here in the summer transfer window. Welcome to the Santiago Bernabeu, Francis Amuzu. So it's a minor player departure here. The Spanish midfielder Oscar, who was out on loan last season, has come back, and we've decided to sell him for £11.9 million to Leicester City. He's off to the Premier League. So the Norwegian wonder kid Martin Odegaard is off to Wolverhampton Wanderers for £16.3 million. We're getting a few play departures in here. The now 20-year-old midfielder is actually quite decent in FIFA 19 career mode, but the Norwegian starlet is headed out of Real Madrid. So Watford went ahead and activated the release clause of the young Brazilian wonder kid Vinicius Jr. The 19-year-old left winger is off to the Premier League for £48.1 million. Watford got a steal there. The now 82 rated wonder kid is departing the club. So it's the last few non-Belgian sales at the moment. We're getting in some minor player departures here with Phoebas, the young central midfielder. The Spaniard is off to Brentford in the Championship for £4 million. And now we're only a few non-Belgian players away from having the whole club to be all Belgian. So this is our Champions League group for season number 2. We have been drawn in Group D alongside Chelsea, Sporting Lisbon and Shakhtar Donetsk. So a bit of a tricky group there. Chelsea, the main threat to us so far. But so finally, after a long-winded summer transfer window, it's been a busy time for Roberto Martinez as he spent £187.55 million. Plus, we ended up selling £190.15 million worth of players. So it was a busy window coming in and out of the club, but that is going to conclude it for now. This is how the team is looking for season number 2. A very, very strong Belgian side here. The only weakness I really see is the left back position, but everywhere else across the park is pretty strong. We've got a lot of depth. Let's see how Roberto Martinez's side do after a very, very busy summer transfer window. Can the new signings gel? We're going to have to find out. So we are halfway through season number 2 of the Belgian Rebuild Challenge, and it's an unlikely league leader at the top of the pack. It is going to be Espanyol coming in first position with 42 points. We are right behind them. The Belgian boys are sitting in second, tied with Barcelona, and then Atletico Madrid round out the top 4. So a bit of a weird table there. Celta Vigo and Valencia make up the top 6. We ended up winning the Super Coppa by the pre-season little game before the start of the season against Atletico Madrid, 5-2 on aggregate. So a bit more silverware for Roberto Martinez and the Belgian boys to celebrate there. We are still competing in the Coppa de España or the Coppa del Rey. We are coming up against Celta Vigo in the round of 16. And in the Champions League, it was a rather comfortable group finish here. We finish on top with 13 points. Chelsea right behind us with 11. As we move on to the round of 16, we are coming up against the Portuguese giants in SL Benfica. So here we have our second last non-Belgian player departure. It is going to be a minor sale here. Brahim Diaz, the man who recently came from Manchester City, is back to the Premier League yet again. He's returning to Bournemouth for £8.6 million. The 20-year-old right winger, the Spaniard, is off to England, and that means we only have one more non-Belgian player to sell. So here is how our youth academy is doing halfway through season number 2. It's quite decent. We've got a few little decent players in here, but the one that stands out to me is yet another Dupont brother, Victor Dupont at centre back, worth nearly 500k. He's 16 years of age. He looks like a very bright Belgian youth academy talent, so we're going to sign him up. He's got 90 to 94 potentials. Victor Dupont, yet another Dupont, welcome to the club. We just love signing up all the brothers here in the Belgian rebuild. So it took a while, but we finally signed him. The former Tottenham man, Moussa Dembele. He's coming from Guangzhou RNF. I have no idea what team that is, but it's in the Chinese Super League. The experienced Belgian midfielder, but he's going to come to us for £17.6 million. Now, our 32-year-old 81 rated midfielder is going to provide a bit of guidance, a bit of experience in the midfield and at the club in general. So it's the 2nd January signing, a deadline day signing here. We have picked up Leandro Trossard. We picked him up. We activated his release clause for £28.8 million. So that is going to conclude our January transfer business. A few little decent signings in there, but not too major. We did most of the business we wanted to do in the summer, but now is the big question. Will this Belgian side be successful in the second half of the season? Let's see how Roberto Martinez's men perform. So we finished off season number 2, and it's a bit of a fall from grace for the Belgium lads. Roberto Martinez has ended up finishing in 4th position only by 2 points. Espanyol fell from 1st to 5th in the second half of the season. Meanwhile, Valencia, Atletico Madrid and Barcelona all climb above us. Barca winning the league in the end. Villarreal, Real Betis make up the top 7. Meanwhile, it is Deportivo, Malaga and Rayo Vallecano all going down to the 2nd division. A pretty poor finish for our standards, but at least in season number 3, we get another crack at the Champions League. We've got back-to-back Coppa Del Rey finals to look forward to. We've got an El Clasico waiting for us in the League Cup. We're going to go ahead and simulate that, but considering we won it last year, there's no real need to win it. And in the Champions League, we beat Benfica 4-0 in the round of 16. In the quarterfinals, we ended up losing to Manchester City 2-0 on aggregate, so it's a poor show from the lads there. Meanwhile, in the final, it's going to be Barcelona taking on Manchester City. So this is the lineup going into the Coppa del Rey final. We're going to go ahead and simulate it. If we win this, it'll be back-to-back Spanish Cups. If we don't, doesn't really matter in the end. We already won it in season number 1. We go into the final with our full-strength lineup. Can they do the job? Busquets gets the goal, but Hazard replies instantly in the 22nd minute. What a reply from Hazard, but we're going to skip it, and it's a 3-2 victory in extra time. What a game. Lukaku got a goal, then Dembele, then De Bruyne. What a show in there from the lads. It's a 5-goal thriller in the final, and we are on the right end of the scoreline. So it looks like in season number 3, it's going to be an all-Belgian side, as our only 2 non-Belgian players left have their contract expiring. Obviously, we're not going to renew it, so Hakimi and Xavi Hernandez are going to be out of the club. So an all-Belgium team is going to be formed for season number 3. All eyes on the Champions League this time. Meanwhile, our main stars this season, it was Eden Hazard yet again, showing that he is world-class. The captain getting 64 games in there, 24 goals and 16 assists. A brilliant turnout for Eden Hazard. Meunier, our starting right back, getting a lot of games in there. A decent attacking output from him, as well as Kevin De Bruyne shining yet again, double figures in goals and assists. Lukaku, our top goal scorer in there with 25 goals, and it sort of fizzles out from here on. And Andreas Mertens coming off the bench to get 12 goals and 5 assists. Axel Witsel and Golan, our new midfield signings, doing quite well. Thorgan Hazard getting a few goals. Carrasco, Company declining rapidly, so we need to win the Champions League soon if we want Company to do so as well. All eyes on the Champions League from now on. So a bit of a bittersweet ending to season number 2 for Roberto Martinez, but we're going to see in season number 3, the main goal, the main prize is that Champions League trophy. We're putting all our eggs into one basket to see if the boys can do it. I don't know if we're going to do as many signings as we did last season, but see if we get any signings in, I'll definitely let you know. It's going to be another massive season here for Real Madrid. But nevertheless, let's get into season 3. So training will return in season number 3 with some bright youth academy prospects. We've got Van der Velde, Van den Broek, and one of the Dupont brothers in the center attack and midfield position. All young promising players, so we might as well give them one last season of full training to go. So we're going to have a few minor player arrivals here in season number 3. I know they're not going to help us win the Champions League or anything, but it's just some young Belgian talent I want to showcase to you guys that you can pick up as well in your career modes. They're going to strengthen this team as well. There's going to be Van der Voort, the young 18-year-old goalkeeper from Genk, coming over for £2 million. He has got amazing potential in FIFA 19 career mode, but yet again another cheap hidden Belgian talent in career mode. Welcome to Real Madrid. So former FIFA wonder kid Dennis Prayet, the Belgian midfielder, is going to come over to Real Madrid. We have signed him up here. We have picked up Ikoma Openda from Napoli. The 20-year-old striker, 73 overall, is coming over for £7 million. Cabasele is more of a backup centre-back, a rotational squad player. Utility player is coming over from Schalke. He's now 80 overall. The 29-year-old joins for £13.8 million in this summer transfer window with only 4 signings, £42.8 million. Not too much to make a fuss about. Still some decent Belgian players that we added to the squad. I have belief in the current squad that they can go all the way in the Champions League and hopefully deliver Roberto Martinez glory. This is the Belgian side looking quite strong. And yeah, what a team we have built here now. All they have to do is go out and get the results. It's going to be an interesting one, but we'll see how it goes. So currently sitting halfway into season number 3. We're sitting in 3rd position. Barcelona on top yet again. Valencia in 2nd, 1 point ahead of us. Real Sociedad sitting in 4th position. We ended up losing the Super Coppa, the pre-season Spanish Cup, to Barcelona yet again. 4-1 on aggregate there. And in the Coppa de España, we get knocked out in the round of 32, 3-2 to Getafe. So a bit of disappointment there and in the Super Coppa. But we all know the Champions League is our main aim this season. We ended up sneaking into 1st position. They're undefeated in the group, while in the round of 16, we get matched up against Borussia Dortmund there. But that is the team in the way of us in the quarterfinals. So no business to report on in the January transfer window. Season number 3, there was no need to really sell anyone or buy anyone. Our squad is already stacked enough as it is. Now all hope lies on our current players. We've gotten a few injuries. A couple of the older players have declined in overall, so we're relying on the youth, the next generation of Belgian talent, to lift us through to the Champions League. But this is what the squad is look like. As you can see, we've got about 4 or 5 injuries in the side, so it's going to be a real grind for this Champions League title. Hopefully it won't decrease our chances of actually winning the thing. Belgian boys ready for the second half of the season. So season number 3 finishes with a 3rd place finish for us in the league, finishing with 74 points. Barca in the league yet again. Meanwhile, Real Betis come in 2nd. Valencia finish off the top 4. Atletico Madrid and Real Sociedad, also Villarreal, finish off the top 7. Meanwhile, going to be Numancia, Leganes, and Valladolid, all going back to the 2nd division. Now, this was the make or break, the Champions League. We needed to win. We wanted to win it this season. Are we going to do that? That is the big question for Roberto Martinez. In the round of 16, we ended up beating Dortmund 3-2 on aggregate there, so a bit of a close one. We move on to the quarterfinals. Ended up beating out fellow Spanish opposition in Valencia 2-1 on aggregate there. So a bit of a nervy one. Move on to the semi-finals, and we're coming up against Olympique Lyon, and we win 4-2 on aggregate with a big away date result there to get us a spot in the Champions League final. And it was either going to be Barcelona or Atletico Madrid, our opponents. So pretty much our main 2 rivals, and it's going to be an El Clasico final. Barcelona taking on Real Madrid. The Belgian boys are out here to get that Champions League trophy. Hopefully they can do it against La Liga champions in Barcelona. So that is the side going into the Champions League final. I believe it's our strongest starting at 11. But before we get into the game, we're going to look at our main performers for season number 3. Who got us here in the first place? We're going to take a look and see Kevin De Bruyne up here with 52 appearances, 8 goals and 9 assists. Meanwhile, Eden Hazard with his best season yet, despite going down overall. 33 goals, 10 assists. Lukaku in there with 19 goals and 2 assists. Brother in there with 3 goals. Thorgan Hazard in there with 10. Dendoncker doing quite well. Alderweireld got injured, and so he didn't get that much game time. Batshuayi with 7 goals. Mertens with a few in there, but our main performers have been shining through a couple of seasons now, and that is clear. Kevin De Bruyne and Eden Hazard, the leaders of this team, as well as Romelu Lukaku. But that is going to be the final squad report. It's been a fun time with the Belgian boys. We've had a lot of good little signings in here. It shows how much depth and how much quality Belgium have coming up through the ranks, and how much quality they already have in their team, showing why they deserve that 3rd place at the World Cup in 2018. But we've had a good few youth academy prospects in here, a lot of real life talent coming and joining Real Madrid, a few of the older players going down. We've had the siblings in here, we've had the Hazard brothers, the Lukaku brothers, and the youth academy brothers in DuPont. So it's been a very unique, a very interesting rebuild challenge. Hopefully they can go out, finish off the job, and get that Champions League trophy.
Is this over? I'm scared to ask these questions, 'cause I know that you'll reject my love. Moving slower, frozen to these pieces without a shoulder to cry on.
So we've kicked off here in the Champions League final. It's an El Clasico at Wembley. We're in for a blockbuster match. De Bruyne sees Eden Hazard. They're going to do a little 1-2. Eden Hazard, the new Galactico in real life. Is this what we're going to see in real life? But ter Stegen with a comfortable save. The shot gets deflected anyway. Carrasco. Lukaku's going to hold it up. He's going to find the space into Thorgan Hazard. Thorgan Hazard, is he going to assist his brother? Eden Hazard with a shot. And what a save from ter Stegen. Could have done better there, but a great chance for us. It's back to Barcelona again. We can't clear our lines. Jordi Alba's entered the box. He's given it off to Arthur. Tielemans, Ousmane Dembele with the shot, and we deflect it out for a corner. Way through brilliantly here, Jordi Alba. Why has Dendoncker headed that back? And Suarez with a big chance there, but Courtois saves at his near post. Shocking defending going on from Dendoncker. Off to Eden, off to Lukaku, off to De Bruyne. De Bruyne with a beautiful ball into Eden Hazard. The shot gets away, and it's the opener from the man who signed in real life. Eden Hazard, the new Galactico, has made an impact here at Wembley, at his former stomping ground in London. We get the opening goal in this Champions League El Clasico, and what a way to do it. Brilliant link-up play by the 3 world-class players we have on our side. Lukaku through to Kevin De Bruyne, and Eden Hazard slotted that one into the bottom right-hand corner. A weak foot, left foot finish. Stegen couldn't get anywhere near that one. We go 1-0 up into Carrasco. Carrasco lifts the ball up. There's no overlapping run, but Lukaku's following it. It was a heavy touch from the Barca defender. We're going to cut inside. We're going to give it off. De Bruyne is there, and what a goal that is. 2 quick-fire goals in the first half is going to put us 2-0 ahead, and Kevin De Bruyne, the captain, goes ahead and smashes it into the top left, finishing off a brilliant team move there. Lukaku, brilliant run from him, took it off Jordi Alba, who had a heavy touch. One too many. Lukaku played it back into Carrasco. Carrasco found an unmarked Kevin De Bruyne, and that is brilliant stuff. Unsavable, smash into the top left-hand corner, leading by example there. We go 2-0 up. What a first half we are having here at Wembley, and that is going to be halftime. 2-0 up at the break, a comfortable lead, but we all know 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline to have in football. We got to make sure Barcelona don't come back in this one. It's going to be a big second 45. Oh no, Suarez is in here. He's going to find a ball into the back post. Philippe Coutinho with the header, but Courtois with a comfortable knee post save. Heads it out. Thiago gives it off to Arthur. Thiago again. Thiago cracks one. And that is going to be halving the deficit for Barcelona. The Spanish midfielder fires them onto the score sheet here in the 57th minute. Poor defending from us, and Thiago with a banger coming for Barcelona. Great play between Arthur and Thiago. They've been a threat all game. Courtois couldn't do much about that one. A sweet strike from the Spaniard. We can find Telemon. Telemann's going to strike one, and it just goes wide. Right, our first substitution of the match. Axel Witsel comes on for Thorgan Hazard. He was having a bit of a poor game, and Axel Witsel is going to be a big man in the midfield. Rafinha. Off to Arthur. Rafinha and Courtois. It's fired straight at him. Right, we've made our last two substitutions. Batshuayi and Januzaj come on for Carrasco and Lukaku. But surely that's going to do it. It's going to do it. Axel Witsel with the last touch of the ball. Big tackle from him. He was a great substitution, but it doesn't matter in the end. Roberto Martinez, as Belgian boys do it here. The Belgian Revolution for Real Madrid is successful. The challenge is complete, and we do it here against Barcelona 2-1. It was a bit of a nervy finish. We couldn't get the finisher. We couldn't get the third to finish them off, but in an epic Champions League El Clasico, we do it here with the Belgian lads. You guys were requesting this one heaps, so hopefully it lived up to the hype. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to slap a like and comment down below on what rebuild challenge I should do next. Who did I miss out on signing in this one? Follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description. Subscribe for some more FIFA 19 career mode content. We just passed 10k the other day. Hit the notification bell as well so you never miss a video. I'm going to leave you with the Belgian celebration.
That it feels right. Going with the gut, never had a doubt, felt like this is just a must. Put me in perspective, I'm the deepest in the cut. Everybody tuning in, but this is just for us now. We know I ain't ballin' yet. Hoes wanna holler, oh no, I don't call them back. Girl, let me see you hold it down, we gon' have a blast. Cause I just wanna know what you gonna do with all of that. Ain't